N3TC's Touching Lives program is all about passionately embracing community-based partnerships centered on sustainability in making a meaningful difference to the communities along the N3 toll route corridor. The Sungazer Conservation Project, in partnership with the Endangered Wildlife Trust, is one such project which has gained wonderful momentum since its inception in 2014. The Sungazer is the largest of the girdled lizards, and its South African population is in decline due to the destruction of its natural habitat as a result of crop farming, mining, and their illegal capture for the exotic pet trade, as well as for traditional medicine or muti.
We have to bear in mind that less than 2.5% of the grassland biome is actually protected. Now we have to try and find a way to protect this whole biome of ours. It's important for water, it's important for basically for grazing for farmers. So what we do, we use the Sungazer lizard as a flagship species. This area here is a good example. We've got good veld over here, we've got a perfect undergrazed area, and it's important to protect this as much as possible. Now what we're going to do now is this area here I'm going to take through as a stewardship site, where we're going to talk with nature conservation officials and try and get this proclaimed as a stewardship site. Now what that means is a protected environment. It doesn't mean that a farmer can't continue farming. Farming stays exactly the same as it is here today. The farmer makes an agreement with us, a promise that this place will be exactly the same in a few years' time. And from that it will prevent things like the farmer plowing up land, also from other mines or something coming in as well, obviously, but also to his advantage, we can give him some advice on how to improve this whole veld as well, to maximize production on the veld.
We were approached by EWT to assist with the research and the monitoring of the species, so to enable them to really establish a base on the species and what's really going on, addressing some of the challenges, working with the farmers, the landowners. And we saw it as an opportunity to again take communities that work alongside us to another level.
Interestingly, Sungazers reproduce only every other year and give birth to 1 or 2 live-born young. They do not lay eggs. Sungazers make their homes in shallow burrows in open grassland and get their name from their habit of resting motionless at the burrow entrance, looking up at the sun.
This is an example of a Sungazer burrow. Now Sungazers aren't dependent on rocks like other lizards, so they need a burrow in the ground like this. This is a perfect example of a burrow right over here, because you've got a little ramp in the middle of the burrow itself, and you've got different perches where they're going to stand all day. Now they've got the lazy job of standing and perching all day, and you can see their marks where they've been perching, which is on this section of the burrow. So it's not what happens. A lot of your burrows become very inactive, and they can get full of plants and all kinds of things. You can see this runway over here is nice and clean. They've been keeping it nice and clean for them to go in and out, and it's definitely a sign that there's life in this one.
They hibernate during the winter and are rarely seen between May and August.
Okay, I'm getting some waypoints. I'm getting this data over here. It's important for me to know exactly where the Sungazers are found on specifically this area. So I go back to my computer, I can put into an Excel spreadsheet, then onto my GIS layer, and I can plot them all. So I've got information, for example, if there will be things like developments, or in the other hand, if I want to try and protect this area, I've got the information to prove that there are Sungazers on this farm. The Sungazer population is definitely decreasing from what I've seen when I've spoken to a lot of landowners. For example, most classic examples, most farms have like 3 or 4 colonies, and some of them that have got 3 colonies only have 1 left. And I'm trying to work out the reasons for that. That's part of research that is being done by students, as well as I'd like to just get some more idea of what's happening. But it's something we need to act on this now before it's too late. The main reason is that habitat destruction has happened across this country and across the Free State and grassland areas. And because the Sungazers don't need rocks and mountains like other lizard species do, they need a specific type of ground, which is only found in this area, which is perfect for them. And that's why we have to conserve them as much as possible now.
Important work is being done with farmers in the Eastern Free State, and the Endangered Wildlife Trust team is building strong relationships with landowners who have Sungazer populations on their properties. Linked to the stewardship program is a custodianship initiative where landowners are encouraged to act as ambassadors for conservation in their areas. N3TC is proud to partner with the Endangered Wildlife Trust in what is proving to be a highly successful conservation project.